Hey everybody, I hope you're all well. Well, it's that sad time. December 16th is coming upon us real fast, and that is when the servers in the game will shut down forever. It's very sad, I know. But I just wanted to give everybody an update of where my gear is at after everything I've played over the years, plus also the 2 million gems. And if any developers or support are asking that can get us some gems, it would be very appreciative of me and I know a lot of other people in the community if we can get another round of a million or so gems. Maybe it's just like a holiday, Christmas, or this time of year gift for everybody. So we used to do like every week we used to get the gifts around this time for the holidays. So if we can get another round of million gems or more, that would be awesome. Because with the last two, I've gotten pretty far, but there's still a lot I really want to upgrade. So with gems, I would hopefully get some of Pikel's gear. I use his common mostly to level at least 27 or 28. You know, it's just luck on how far you get it from what you get from chests. But a lot of his gear for me is level 26. His legendaries obviously are level 16 because for me it's always going to be impossible to get him any further because we can't purchase any gems anymore. Plus, it's just not really beneficial because when you see the stat differences for some of them, most of them aren't worth it. His legendaries is sometimes worth it because it can clear all stuff, but then it reduces his survivability, so it's really a toss up. So with Pikel, he's pretty much all around level 26. His level is 30. So all the heroes I use in battle, I've got to level 30. Yeah, Thomas and so that's my sure. So when we look at pure battle, this is my favorite battle team. You can see everybody's level 30. Every now and then I will replace Naeli with Faraday or with Pikel, just if I want a little bit more range damage, but you can't, it's very hard to find people these days. It's mostly like the same 5 or 6 people that I found if you even do find them. So most of the time I just have my bot farming gear on, but there are some people where you can have some good matches still. Going into Sarvin, I am really close to fully maxing him out, so his common pants are level 30, his head's level 30, just under 3,000 more to max out his quiver, which would fully max him out for me. His bow's level 30, his armor's level 30. His armor, and also if I wanted to level up, his common armor would be level 30 because I got 122,000, which at level 20 you only need 115,000 to get it to level 30. So technically that's all level 32, but I'm not going to spend the gems on the gold on that. And then his amulet's level 30. I'm going to try to get his Eyes of the Hunter also to level 30, but we'll see. That is a lot better of a piece of gear if the opponent has Naeli. But in for Sarvin, I would definitely hope I can get this naturally, but if they can provide us some more gems, that would also be very helpful for me to definitely max Sarvin fully out to level 30. But he's the only hero, if we don't get another round of gems or something, that I would fully be able to max out. Shavarlith, maybe. She is close. I got her pants to level 30, her head to level 30. Her spellbook is only level 28. With a million gems, if I get lucky enough, it might be possible for me to get that to level 30, but it's still going to be very challenging because it is luck. Without an additional round of gems, that won't get level 30 because there's just not enough time to farm it or get it within the packs. Same thing with her weapon. I got it to level 29. It's not her ideal weapon. Her ideal weapon is the staff, but the difference in stat power just from being significantly low leveled and much harder to get the legendary. For me, in this part of endgame, it's not worth it because a lot of people are significantly stronger now. And when we start thinking about this, I hate the 50% chance for it to go off, but just for the damage, it increases her attack stats so much more significantly. And in total, pretty much if we look at her damage stats of 9398 versus if I have the legendary staff on of 11, it's not really that much difference, and when you factor in the reduction of attack on your opponents, you're not going to be dealing that maximum 11,800. So for me, it's really not worth using the legendary staff anymore, and the epic is the best choice. I did get her armor to level 30, and preferably I like to use her rear ring. I don't ever see me getting this to level 30 just because the amount of gear you need and how rare it is to actually to get it. Pun intended, not. But I just love the base damage stat on that. But I still use this as well every now and then when I just want to see like the highest power damage I can also get. But I don't think I'll be able to max that out without another funding and gems, so another funding and gems would be very cool to help Shavarth out. It would also help Thomas out. His pants are level 28, his head's level 30, and then a lot of his other gear is also level 28. It's close to level 29, so I think just without gems he may be able to at least get to 29. I don't think without gems I'll be able to get him to level 30 unless I get some good gear drops in challenge mode I can find. I think these bracers I may be able to get to level 30 on my own, but gems would definitely help out on that aspect as well, so that would be very appreciative. With Calliope, gems would definitely help out with her, but on her own, I won't be able to get it. So one of the hardest things I've had a hard time farming or even finding in challenge mode to get is her common rapier. I think without gems, the max I may be able to get it to is like 25. 26 would definitely be a stretch at this period of game just because it's so hard to get that amount of gear. I would need 12,000. So that was something without gems that would definitely be sad because weapons increase the damage and attack stat more than any other item, and that's going to be one of the lowest items for her. Her other items are pretty much around 28. That was 25. It's 28, 28, and then her common is also level 20, almost level 29. So on her own, I think I may be able to get to those 29, but it will be much easier and much more time efficient if they could just provide us another round of holiday gems. So big supporter of that. Coriolis, that is not Coriolis. Okay, whatever. Coriolis, a lot of her gear is level 28 except for her head, which is 27. So with another round of gems, definitely I think I may be able to get all of her stuff maxed to level 30. So that would be pretty awesome. And I would definitely want to get this to level 16 just because the 60% reflect damage. I've been trying it out in battle, and it's actually really fun. It's really useful. I know pretty much 99% of people use the Ghost Lantern. As I've always said, I recommend people don't use this because it ruins matches. I absolutely hate it. It would be fine if the Death Ward percent was like 20% chance or 30% chance, but the 80 is just ridiculous because she's an incredibly strong hero, as is without Death Ward. So I encourage other people, if they are still listening and playing, to use other gears besides Death Ward. The center gear is really good because it can keep giving you fortune, and then you can combine that with the Sorcerer's Boots. That also gives Death Ward, so I would recommend people try to get Death Ward that way instead of playing out the cheap way and just using the Ghost Lantern. Or, as I said, using this Reflect damage could also be really good because if somebody deals a crit on her, then they're going to be dealing 60% of that back to themselves. Or you could even use the Wind Fan, which is going to push people who are too close back, and then you can use your range heroes to even take them out even more, or to be able to get off another round of hopefully boosts and stuff like that. So close to Coriolis. Faraday, ideally, I don't think I'll have the perfect gear for her, but I could at least have everything maxed out in a certain category. So common isn't the ideal, but if we had another round of gems, I could update that to 30. Her headpiece, I don't know if I'd be able to get that to level 30 even with 1,000,000 gems, but it could be even close depending on how lucky I get. I do also like the Explorer's Band, but I don't think I'd be able to get that to level 30. But overall, the effect of it by reducing the opponent's attack by 75%, even at the lower levels, is definitely significantly helping out your team, so I don't care if that's level 30 or not. I think I'd be able to get the Hellish Grimoire to level 30 with another round of gems. I think I'd be able to get the Infernal Cane at least to level 29. And just like Calliope with her common for the Rod for Faraday, it's been very hard for me to find some of this and farm it. That's why it's such a low level, and that's why in battle I've switched to using the Epic instead, just because the reduction of the stats using the common just really isn't worth it. So I've been boosting her damage with the Wanderer's Boots and then trying to get some more damage off with the Infernal Cane. while also boosting with the Dragon Cult cubes. And this will hopefully just make the Infernal Cane a little bit more stronger because it only deals 125 versus the 250 that the common is going to do. I don't think even at this point with another 1,000,000 gems I'd be able to get the Sickle of Shorn Bonds to level 16. It would probably take well over 1,000,000 gems because in the last 2,000,000 gems I've got, I have gotten 0 Sickles of Shorn because it's all random. So it'd be nice if I could try this out because it's amazing once you get to 16, but I don't think that's going to even be an option. Her armor is level 27, so that could potentially be maxed, and some of these items, the epic and the common, may also be maxed. But again, that all depends on if we get another round of funding of gems. I mean, I'm a big proponent because it doesn't cost the company anything, and it's also a sign of good faith and kind of leaving on a high note instead of be like, oh, they only provides this and we never got to finish. One of the things that I would really want the extra gems for is to level up Jarlaxle more. So I've been using him in battle with the injure effect, and it's actually really effective. You can increase his damage with his legendary hat, increase it by 25%, move into the back row, and then in a second turn, you can use a portable hole and start injuring people. And that's very effective, but at the damage that I have him at, it's not very effective when everybody else has like level 27 to level 30 gear for him. The damage effect just really doesn't do enough. If everything was level 30 for Jarlaxle versus a level 30 enemy, it would be much more effective, but at this point I don't think I would get him. But if I could at least get his damage stat to say roughly around about 6,000 or 7,000, that would make him much more effective. And how I would get there mostly is with the gems. If I could get some more of his swashbuckler blades, I would prefer the common or the rare, but I don't think even with 1,000,000 or so gems I'd be able to get it. It would probably take maybe like 5 or 6 million gems in order to level those up to be competitive. So at this point it's just whatever item gives him the greatest damage stat in order to get the greatest amount of portable hole damage, because the portable hole I know is never going to get above 16 even with 1,000,000 gems. It would probably take 10 or 20 million gems to see that go up, and that's just based on luck. So I'd love the gems definitely to level up Jarlaxle. I would love them also in the end, so I've always kept Jopa, and Rika very low, just because if you go into the return to events and you start with heroes that have lower power gear on, the first time you go in, that sets the damage for the entire rest of it. So I've kept them low in order to make the round a lot easier for my other heroes going in with higher power gear. But I've also had to sacrifice not using them at all in battle or for pretty much other events. I've used Rika for farming some of the raid bosses. But one of the things that I definitely want to use more and get this to at least level 16, because I've been playing on my second account, Shadow Forger. You may have seen that account in battle. That is my second account with my wikis. And with the 2,000,000 gems, I was able to get this to level 16 and use it once I leveled up Rika to level 9. And this is absolutely amazing. It's very broken, and if the game was still continuing, I would definitely rebalance this to reduce its effects so it's not overpowered. But that's not going to change, so I'd love to get this to level 16 and just use it in battle. It'd be so amazing. The build that I was using with it is Legendary Pants. And then the head doesn't really matter. If everything was max level, I would prefer the Legendary. Or you could even use the common to increase the amount of damage. Then you'd either want to use the Owlbear Skull, or you'll want to use the Wolf Skull. With the Wolf Skull, the idea would be to move into the back row, and then use the Wolf Skull to do as much damage as you can. Whereas the strategy with the Owlbear Skull would be to move to the front row and then deal as much damage as you can. There are multiple different options, but I was using the Yeti Bone Hammer, because this will also act like an Owlbear Skull, dealing everybody damage in one row 50% of the time. And then I was using the common just because that's the only thing I have on my second account that I can really use, the Ring of Healing. But I would probably, if I can get some more gems, get the stone up to level 16, which will give her a chance at Death Ward, so she could repeat the Owlbear Skull if she does die. So that's some of the reasons I would want to use the gems for those characters. For Naomelin, I would like the extra gems just so I could accumulate enough gold to start leveling up some of her gear. So I have a lot from the past couple of gem rounds that we've had, but I just haven't had enough gold efficiently spare to level her up because I've been working on everybody else. So if I did get another round, I would definitely start leveling her up and see if I can get her. I don't think I'd be able to get her to level 30, but I think I may be able to get her to level 28, at least just with the gear that I have. But I would definitely love to see her because she is absolutely amazing in battle. And then Nayeli is really close, so what I'm farming now in challenge mode is hopefully getting her Holy Avenger to level 30. Hopefully I can get that either today or tomorrow without gems. But with the gems, hopefully I would be able to level up her common, maybe to level 25 or 26. Get her legendary to level, her epic to level 30, her legendary to level 16. Maybe I could get her epic helmet to level 30. That would be nice. Maybe I'd be able to get one of these items to level 30. My best chance is probably on the common if I get lucky, but more so epic gear is a lot easier to come by, so that would probably be my max level gear over here. And also, hopefully with another round of gems, I could get this to level 30. And maybe the owl at least to level 28, 29, depending on if we were to get like 1 million or like 5, 10 million gems that we could keep spending. Halene, he has enough almost to get to level 30 from with gear upgrades, but again, I just don't have the gold required. I'm saving this other 1 million gold for the final upgrades for some of my other heroes. So like I'm saving that up, 150,000 over there for Sarvin. I'm saving some up, hopefully, if I can get some of these upgrades. Like this one's going to be 140,000. There's a lot of other upgrades, so it's going to take me maybe at least 6 or 7 million of gold in order to just start working on some of these other heroes before the game ends, but I honestly don't see it without additional support, seeing that we can't purchase any gems of gold right now. But then just to finish off, so with the 1 million gems or whatever developers could provide us in these final days outside of the 2 million that have already been graciously provided, is I would love to see this at level 16. I think it could be really fun, especially if you combine it with the Quill of Memory, which gives her a 100% increase to her attack. So as you can see, like now with the build that I have, if we were to just go for her strongest gear, she has 4,000 attack damage. I'm assuming if we were to level like this up to level 30, this up to level 30, that may get somewhere around like 5,000. So if this was also level 30, that could give her like a 5,000 increase to her attack stat. So let's say somebody hits her, now her attack stat is 10,000, and her damage, let's say maybe her damage is 11,000. This was to go off, it's going to be doing 75% of that. So that is absolutely amazing. And that could be something fun to try out. But at this rate, if we don't get another funding, that's not going to be possible. And with the gems, I would also be able to level up some of these other items a little bit closer to level 30. I definitely want to try to use the tentacle rod a little bit more, but the 5 level difference with my epic is hard. Just because it reduces the stats so much. So yeah, that's my thoughts and how I think an additional funding of gems or gold would definitely help out a lot of people in the community and just kind of finish off this game on a positive note. I understand if it's not possible, but that is my game plan if we were to get some additional things. So I just want to thank everybody for listening. Thanks for playing over the year. This may be my last video, depending on if we don't really hear anything back. But just thank you again, and happy holidays.